Yeesh. Let me change the lighting a little. A little better. Hello and welcome to First Issues. Today I'm doing a very bare bones one. As you can see, my camera is the one on my personal laptop instead of Jess's, the one I've been using. Long story short is, well, doesn't matter. But, so, First Issues. Let's actually get the ball rolling. Hello and welcome to First Issues. I'm the Archivist, and these are the issues released for April 16th, 2014. And sorry if you hear anything in the background. That would be Jello throwing a little hissy fit. Okay? Okay. As per the new norm, I really should crack open my inventory of all fun things. Well, I was originally going to bring up this comic, but I decided that since yesterday my brother Zeke decided to pick me up yeah, I know, right? It's a rarity. Yes, I like My Little Pony. No, I don't consider myself a brony, but hey, I just thought it was really cool that TY Beanie Babies still exist. I know that's a thing from me, but so anyways, on to the actual issues. I will try and get through this as quickly as possible, so that way you guys don't have to deal with the crappy everything that's going on. Okay? Okay. So, we only got 2 Marvel releases this week, and it's really kind of stunning. Well, let's see. First we have Hulk #1, written by Mark Waid, pencils by Mark Bagley, and inks by Andrew Hennessy. Oh, and colors by Jason Keith. They're on the cover, I'm going to read them. So, look out, Who Shot JR. It's time for Marvel to blow that storyline's ending out of the water with Who Shot the Hulk. Actually, that's not true, because we actually find out who shot the Hulk in, like, the first half of it, and then why, like, a page and a half later. But I do think that the last couple pages in this, where the series really works, and it does spark some intrigue. I say it's worth a buy, if because it does have a lot of things going in this issue that works. Then let's hop over to the Ultimate Universe with Ultimate FF #1, written by Joshua Hale, Fialkov, thank you. With pencils by Mario Guevara and Tom Grummett. So, the Earth 1610 version of the Future Foundation is Tony Stark, Sam Wilson, Falcon, Machine Man, who's Danny Ketch in this reality, I'm not sure how that went, and Sue Storm. Okay, so 1 out of the 4 Fantastics isn't that bad. Oh, and Phil Coulson is field leader. Anyways, so what do I think? It felt very standard, except at the end. Except at really the end. Whereas Hulk decided to not go into the direct route of a Hulk story, this decided that we really only needed to read the first page breakdown about that there are portals and this team is specifically closing them. We get the group dynamic established, though Falcon does seem to be a really random choice for this team, especially since Coulson mentions that they have every S.H.I.E.L.D. former agent they can call on, including Spider-Man and several others. But I will say that this is probably because I started reading Ultimate Fantastic 4 in the past couple months, that there's actually a fun-filled surprise at the end. It's really nice to see him step through the smoke, especially since I thought it was something completely different. So, I would say that I like it. Is it worth a buy, though? I don't feel bad having bought it, but I wouldn't say that you should go out of your way to get it. Okay? Now, let's move over to Translucid #1 and do all that. I know I'm doing this completely raw, 1 cut, 1 take, I'm sorry. But, so, let's see. So, Translucid #1 from Boom Studios, written by Claudio Sanchez and Chandra Eckert, illustrated by Daniel Bayliss. This was the first issue with a point. He really wanted to set up that dynamic between the Navigator and his arch nemesis, the Horse. I know, the names are weird. Basically, it needs to fill us in on a history between these two characters so they can move forward with the vision that the creators wanted. Does it work? I think so. We get to see what type of hero the Navigator is, how impactful Horse is as an adversary. Plus, I really dig the art. So, I would say that it's definitely worth a read, and maybe, just maybe, if the second one pushes forward like I really hope it will, then this could be an easy buy and trade. And now, we have the IDW title from a franchise that IDW made awesome, Transformers Windblade #1, written by Margaret Scott and art by Sarah Stone. This is part of the Dawn of the Autobots banner. No, I don't really know what that means. I assume it means we're back when the Autobots began, or sometime around there. Either way, they do give a previously to just clarify the loose setting. And then by loose setting, we're talking there was a war. Decepticons and Autobots band together. Now Starscream's president. But so this entire narrative follows Windblade, a newcomer to Cybertron, which I didn't even think was possible. So I kind of get that maybe the robots who can transform decided to have multiple planets or colonize. It does sort of make sense, but I kind of like thinking that two completely different genuses of robot, or either way. So the comic itself is pretty alright. I'm not really invested enough in the universe to care about the plot on any real impactful level. I think if you've been reading the Transformers books, then there's probably other books to pick up, but you should eventually work your way around to this. So verdict is, read it eventually. Now we've got Oh Yeah Comics. Yeah, I've never heard of them either. Actually, Oh Yeah Comics is really cool as they bring us the Grim Reaper Super Special #1 by Art Balthazar and Franco. Does that name ring a bell? Maybe you read Tiny Titans, and this is actually reads very akin to that series with its format. It's more of a gag book with a few pages of short, fun little anecdotal jokes or, humor, as opposed to being a full-on narrative. It is still an all-ages comic, though, so I know people might not enjoy that. The art, by art, I'm not going with that as a joke, but is cartoony as usual. While I do know a couple people who dislike it, it's not bad and adds to the comedy with the neutral design of Grimm and the over-top expressions of everything else, and the adorable Wolf Boy is just amazing. The Super Special is only 99 cents, so there is literally no excuse to not pick this up. Even if it's not for you, it's a great gift to the little ankle biter near you. Keeping up with this pattern, let's peep over to Dynamite Comic with Captain Action Cat, the Time Stream Catastrophe #1. Written by Art Balthazar, Franco, and Zod Smith. With art just by Art. Yeah, I didn't know until I sat down to read all my firsts this week that I would have to have two different choices for Art Balthazar and Franco stuff. Not that that's a problem, since I still really like it. His cartoony style, it just works really well here. This is still aimed at kids, but instead of being a collection of comic strips and jokes, it's much more of a kid-level hero book. However, this is probably also the best time story I've ever read, because it doesn't use the past, the present, the future. It uses Silver Age, Golden Age, and Modern Age. It's kind of awesome like that, because the Golden Age is very, antique-y gadgets, Even though he's all, yeah, but I just bought these. And then the Silver Age is this high-flying explorer with his own boat and everything like that. But I say that it is completely worth a physical buying and having a digital copy. Okay, that might be over the top for some of you, but it's completely awesome, so go get it. There's no reason not to. Finally, I'll end my bit on the Dynamite comic release from their Gold Key line, because apparently I've been told that I should make people know that it's from their Gold Key series. Anyways, here's Solar, Man of the Atom #1, written by Frank Barbiere and drawn by John Bennett. So yeah, this was, like all the other Gold Key line from Dynamite Comics, really good. It gives you all the backstory for who the Man of the Atom is, and basically, the best way to sum this entire story up is, for all intent and purpose, it's Firestorm meets Dr. Manhattan. He can literally do anything as long as he just gets the math right. Yeah, science! It's worth picking up if that sounds something you'd get behind. However, I think that this story, well, with how it's going out and everything like that, would be a better read in a trade as opposed to right off the bat. Though, I would say read the first issue because it might be something that you really want to follow through until forever. And originally this week was also going to have a Jello pick, but so let's hop directly into DC with Sinestro #1 by Cullen Bunn and Dale Inglesham. I've always liked Sinestro as a character, for the most part. Though I have fallen out of reading the Green Lantern books, more or less. I do pick them up occasionally, but never fully every month. Not out of really thinking that they were bad or anything, just not really a need. So I honestly had no clue what to expect from this. And I liked it. I was worried this was going to be like Red Lanterns, though, where it was, I'm not that bad, really. But no, it really doesn't pull back on who Sinestro is and what he's done. It even starts with him in exile and away from the Sinestro Corps. Oh, I'm sorry, the Archillo Corps now. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a book that people are either going to really like or really not. But I definitely think that it's worth reading. Though if you've been a fan of Green Lantern since the New 52 started, you'll most likely have a better understanding of the story proper. Now, let's give it a second, and I'll see if I can do a flashback real quick. Okie doke. So, this flashback firstie is not a request from anyone. This is an issue that I've wanted to talk about, but never really got around to figuring out how to talk about it. So, you saw the title card, so why beat around the bush? This is DC Comics The Movement #1 by Gail Simone with Freddie Williams Jr. on art. Why do I want to do this issue? Instead of singing horribly into a mic that I can't actually sing into, or else it sounds like hell for the amusement of like 3 viewers, because it was the worst comic I've read since the New 52 relaunch. I could already hear the people complaining, but Linkara just reviewed Red Hood and the Outlaws. That clearly is the worst comic from DC of all time, and should make us hate all DC and view the entire company based off of that single issue. First off, my God, you're needlessly complex. Read something. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, it's your personal choice. Not everything needs to have a social issue to hate it. Not to be hypocritical, I hate this because of its politics. The story starts off very simply. A few snot-nosed kids think that they can change the world by being a standard gang and telling the cops that they control this group of streets now. Oh, sorry, they're superheroes, and they're right, because every cop in this stupid thing are horrible people. Oh, sorry, except for the Black Captain. He's just got a horrible wife, and a horrible life. Heh. Oh, and unions. Unions suck, too, because you can't fire the guy without proof of a felony. Newsflash, Miss Simone. Did you know that video evidence, even if not legally obtained, still counts as proof that a crime was indeed committed, at least when it comes to union reps? Oh, you didn't. Oh, you didn't think about that. Oh, okay. Okay. So, I don't like the fact that this is a wannabe political strike at the man. And I know, but so what is it? Is it a decent superhero book at least? It really isn't that good either. Yeah, we get intros to the characters, but we don't actually get a feel for whether or not they're worth getting to know. Okay, no, that's not true. We get to see them being dickish and really stupid about everything. I think that if the movement was about the ICU gang, it might have worked better. It might have been a more prolific thing, giving a message that you don't need fists to fix the system. You just need to show everyone's dirty laundry. You know, like Eyes Only from Dark Angel, or like The Question from, well, the Question comics. Or, long story short, here is where I should say whether or not to buy this comic. This, I do believe, is the first one that I've brought up that can't be ignored. I know I don't really talk about my grading system a lot. Ignoring it is basically a 1 out of 5. Because if something's that bad and not offensive, just ignore it. It doesn't need to be shat upon. Well, you could still shit upon it, but pardon the language, sorry. But this is a 0 out of 5 for me. It is flame-worthy, because it does get praised or brought up as a great book solely because Gail Simone's name is attached to it. It's not good. Maybe the rest of the series is, I don't know, because I feel more graded by this than the TNA in Red Hood and the Outlaws #1. Since so many people have commented that I've actually haven't really hated on a book so far in this show, time to drop the mic and walk away. I'm the Archivist, and it's your move, Internet.